Oh my god.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Ramjet Anvil Show. I'm Zelver Nelson Jr. I'm a game writer, developer, and narrative designer. And today I'm super happy as always to be joined by my co-hosts at the Ramjet Anvil Show, the lead developers of Volo Airsport, Martin.
It's a me.
And Frank.
Hello.
It's been about 2 or 3 weeks since we released the parachute update, which was an immense update we just completed for Volo Airsport. It was a long time in the making, and it basically added an entirely different way of playing the game to Volo Airsport. It introduced parachutes that are customizable and allow you to confront the mountain in an entirely different way. Yeah. So now that we've done that, we're working on a shorter, more iterative development cycle, and we're finding ways to use these tools we've given you. A very simulation-based flight model combined with the wingsuit and the parachute to provide the most fun ways to use these tools as possible. And the first way we found to do this, the first prototype we're working on, is the bullet hell mode. So what can y'all tell us about the bullet hell mode and some of the other cool things y'all are working about getting into Volo Airsport to now flesh out this immense sandbox that you've created?
Oh, well, first let's find a couple. Oh, there's one. That was kind of mild. Let's try this one. This one's a little bit more extreme. Oh my god. Yeah. So there you go. I'm still okay. I'm not. Oh, I'm not okay.
So the times when you could just fly around in Volo and just relax, those times are over, right?
Oh, that was definitely
not entirely. No, not entirely. You can still chill, but the experience in general is being made like much more active. It's like, okay, you got a big mountain, and now there's a lot of more things to do with it. As you can see with these, I think, have you all loaded in the balloons yet?
Yeah, they should be in the background right there. You can see a couple of them. Yeah, I'm flying straight at this thing.
Yeah. So the idea is we're working on new game modes and trying to combine some things. So the new courses, or the courses that are already there, will be adjusted with some nice turrets. And there's a new balloon popping mode that you're looking at right now. That will allow you to combine the parachute and the wingsuit to pop balloons.
And there's more as well. We have other stuff coming up later, but we wanted to focus on this one first. Oh, there's another one. Basically, what we're trying to set up with these is more of a reason for you to not just have the entire sky to yourself, because the sky is traditionally kind of empty, and we wanted to fill it with stuff that either attracts you to it or repels you from it. And of course, bullets kind of push you away from being where they are. You don't want to be where the bullets are. So they're a way of messing up that rhythm that we used to have.
And now suddenly you're thinking about space in an entirely different way. Because before, you're just floating down the mountain, you have your wingsuit, you have your parachute, and the only real obstacle is how dangerously do you want to fly before you crash into something.
Yeah.
And now you're actively making a number of micro decisions that turn Volo Airsport. It really forces you to think about the tool set you have in an entirely different way. It's like, okay, I'm this far away from a turret. It's firing bullets at me every so often. This is how fast they're flying. How do I need to adjust my flight pattern? What tool do I need to deploy and when to get past this gauntlet to achieve the next goal?
Yeah.
I was really kind of amazed because, I mean, it looks really transformative, but in like just theory, we couldn't have really expected how much even small tweaks like this changed the way you interacted with the world. I mean, just look at the aerodynamics lines. We didn't have that before, and now we do.
Yeah. So these turrets, we're still figuring out what exactly to do with them. Like, where do we place them? What are you doing while they're shooting at you? Like, how far away should they start to react? And when do they work? When do they not? One thing that doesn't work right now is if you get shot in the back, just like in real life, not enjoyable. Like, you want to see it coming, so you can have some response to it. You can anticipate it and try to get out of the way. So we're still figuring out what's the best use for these things.
We're actually working on a homing bullet system that will sort of shoot in the general direction that you are going, but will also follow you a little bit, such that you need to dodge them instead of just fire away and then forget about it. Because these turrets, they are really, really aggressive. They shoot very, very fast, and they shoot lots and lots of bullets.
Yeah. This is why we need your feedback, by the way. We're determining how much is too much, because in something as focused and dynamic as Volo Airsport, one element can drastically change the way you even see an experience. So, what is fairness in a game? That's something that a lot of developers struggle with to this day, even if they've been making titles in a franchise for years. If you have something built upon challenge, like Dark Souls, at what point does something cross from challenging to unfair? And what are the individual aspects?
I think this is the moment where it crossed into unfair.
Yeah, it's stuff like that that makes you think, okay, what can we tweak and how do we tweak it to ensure that whether you fail or succeed, either way you feel like you've earned it.
Yeah, but we can now already say that we are making the Dark Souls of skydiving games.
Whoa! You heard it here first, people. The Dark Souls of skydiving games. I like that.
Let's show off the wind stuff. That's really interesting.
A little bit of setup time.
Yeah. So while Martijn is setting stuff up,
which we might edit out, but.
Which we might edit out, even if my talk is interesting enough, we won't. So these turrets and challenges that you saw will be hidden behind triggers, and what I mean with that is you need to activate them. So they won't be active all at the same time. They will be like courses in such that you would fly through a ring or an area to start them. Otherwise, the map would be filled with all stuff at the same time, and you would lose actually the relaxing experience that Volo is right now.
And pop.
So what you see right now is there's all new wind. Yeah, we call them wind zones in the level, and you can use them to actually climb.
Well, as long as your parachute doesn't flip over.
What is the parachute that you're using actually? It looks really small.
This might be the pillow with a different color, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I'll switch to a bigger one so I can catch a little bit more air. To the blanket, trusty old. These are the first wind zones or wind effectors that we have. And we can start composing levels with these. These are spirally thermals, which if you follow them either clockwise or counterclockwise, you get different ways to climb up and down them. You can use them to gain altitude, and we can basically create levels with these. So instead of flying down the mountain, you could fly up the mountain, and then maybe you could switch back to wingsuit. All those kinds of compositions are possible, and then we can create little platforming challenges with them where you start popping these little balloons in sequence. So look, I started in the bottom there, and now I'm up here, and I can just rise up, and maybe... I think I placed this one a little bit too high up.
I'm going to resist the urge to make a starter from the bottom now we're here joke. But it is really interesting to think about, okay, Volo Airsport is sort of an open world flight simulator / sandbox / toy. Creating levels within that sort of open field, it's definitely going to be a challenge, but it's one that is really interesting because the more we add into the sandbox, the more tools we have to build these things.
Yeah. And hello.
My phone agrees with us.
Exactly. We're also working with Michael, the sound designer and composer for the game, to create a dynamic soundtrack for all of this, and getting the sort of the feel for that right, where you have the leisurely exploration that we've always had, and just relaxing, and then more focused challenges. For example, with those turrets and those crazy winds and those pickups. We're trying to figure out, okay, how does that go together? How can those best help each other out?
And what's interesting is that as players begin to go on that journey themselves, it will echo our own journey through our own game, figuring out how these things work. Like the Garden of Lift that we found over on the left side of the map, at least from the map screen. That's a huge, fun place to play in that we never would have discovered if we hadn't just been tooling around in our own systems. And when you remove those spawn points and you're forced to discover them, you can sort of follow the paths that we've followed ourselves or haven't even dared to follow, and create your own little experiences to draw from in this Volo world.
Exactly.
Incidentally, I think I've broken the Garden of Lift in this one. It had to be sacrificed for all these other sweet wind zones.
I just go about praising the Garden of Lift and making it this symbol of exploration and discovery, and you've killed it.
Well, the God of Lift giveth, and the God of Lift taketh away. God of Lift is me, by the way.
The God of Lift riseth and descendeth. Blessed be the God of Lift.
Yeah, mostly descending right now.
Oh, there you go.
Save me, parachute. Not even. Oh, we can still save this. No. You were also talking about this a little bit before this show, Nelson. It'll also be great if you can sort of smack yourself into the ground and then your parachute just drags you along, and then you can keep going with your mangled body forever. Oh no! I crashed the game. Development people. Oh, that might be a good moment to switch to the other thing that we have.
Yeah.
But speaking of crashing, people who have not been crashing are our fans. A few weeks ago, we did a big contest. We said, hey, we just did this huge new way of interacting with the mountain with Volo Airsport. We introduced the parachute update. So, take the videos of the best tricks and stuff you can pull off using the new update and your skizzles, and send it to us for the potential to win some free Steam codes to give to your friends. And y'all delivered. We got some really cool videos in, and we're going to be showing those off to you right now, along with credit for the awesome people who made them. So, our first video from the Volo Airsport 3.7 video contest comes from Irate Earwig.
Hell yeah!
And as you can see, like, their flying is razor sharp. It is terrifying just how close they're getting to the ground.
So solid as well.
Yeah. I wouldn't try this at home.
Look at this. He can almost taste the grass. And the bark of the trees.
That would be fun. That would be a cool mod for Volo Airsport, just like a physics-enabled tongue that just runs along the ground or whatever you happen to slap into. So it's just licking.
And you get points for the amount of grass that you have in your tongue at the end of it.
This is going some dark places. As this person they just fly this incredible line, and we're just thinking about physics tongues and foot nubs and
oh, look at this! Even through here,
fingers.
Just complete control. Super solid. And here you'd almost swear like he was touching the ground.
You probably plays it with bongos as well instead of just a normal control.
You're like all the Dark Souls speedrunners. Yeah.
I love this moment where suddenly they're just suspended in the air and they float down. That moment of peace, I think, after that intense flying session just like perfectly captures what Volo Airsport is about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and look at this. He's even going to go in for the perfect landing. The just sit down and relax landing.
Nice.
Is that an actual landing in real life?
Yeah, actually, for moderately fast parachutes, you do a kind of slidey thing. If it's faster than you can run it, you plant your feet down and you land on your butt.
What I start thinking when I look at entries like this is how many hours of practice went into finding these lines?
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot, yeah.
Just like look at that. They just perfectly
Yeah.
slotted in.
I wish I could fly like
Wow.
that.
Oh yeah, just in case you're not sure yet, Earwig, this is a winner. This is a winner.
Yeah, definitely. I
Wow.
would like to see Earwig try and master the parachute. That's if he could do insane stuff with that as well. Be interesting.
Yeah, definitely want to
I
see
mean,
that.
its landings are perfect. The parachute can also be used to do speed flying and stuff.
Then they start riding the wall. It's it's amazing.
Here's slightly dangerous parachute drop, but actually perfectly executed. Like, exactly chose the terrain features there to match the opening time.
Yeah.
Just solid knowledge.
Now we're looking at the entry of Skyfreak, and they're doing a straight up retrospective of Volo Airsport from like the beginning, back when we didn't have angled wings.
The memories. Oh yeah, and then good use of the screenshot camera feature, moving that
Yeah.
around like we do in the trailers.
We have a screenshot camera?
Yeah, we do. You can pause the game and then enter this mode where you can just use the controller to move around the camera smoothly, and you can also use that, of course, to just move around and make nice environment shots.
I've been on the team for like 3-4 months, and I didn't even know we had this.
Every show you find out new stuff about the game.
We have so many hidden features.
Yeah.
It's our specialty.
The one thing I love about these videos, and one thing we're seeing really well in Skyfreaks, is that it's really easy to focus on the dips and divots in Volo's environment, but when you look at those giant open wide grassy spaces, you would think, okay, how are we going to use these for flying? But they actually turn out to be really, really useful landmark features. You would think that you would just have the carved canyons, but no. Open grassland serves as much of a purpose as an insane cliff face,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I love, seeing videos from all these people who sent them in. They really know how to make the most out of everything that's in the game right now. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Gives us a lot of inspiration. Like, we want to see much more of this stuff, and we want to make these kinds of experiences more at the forefront of Volo Airsport. And with all the changes we've shown today, we want to invite people more to try flying like this and get them there. So this gives us a nice target. Oh, those flips!
They're doing barrel rolls.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Just tucking in that knee, doing a crazy barrel roll like it's nothing.
Fade to black.
Nice.
Yes.
Classy.
Nice. That too was a winner.
Yes.
And our final winner actually of today is Teyno, whose entry was the longest one and one of the most stunning, particularly in how they utilized the parachute. Pretty gosh dang impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. So he made it white. That's so cool. I like that. It's a nice touch. White parachute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, straight away for the spinnies. I like those.
And what's funny is when we were first prototyping the parachute, we were like, people can do really cool spinny tricks in the air, and then we're like, what's the chances that somebody's gonna learn how to do all of those in a super complex way? And here's Teyno completely nailing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just watched the trailer and thought, well,
I can do better than
I can
that.
do better.
And what's really cool is you can see that their use of hard turns is alternated with some really, really neat use of the analog happy feet.
Yeah.
The analog happy feet system. The analog brake line system for Volo Airsport. When you pull down a trigger, how much you pull the trigger determines how much pressure you put on one of your parachute brakes. So you can see a lot of their turns have these very hard pulls on them that execute these really cool, neat tricks. But then you'll see from those little bars going up and down in the bottom left that there's some real accuracy happening here as well, and all of it combines to make a very neat-looking flight pattern.
Oh yeah, it's all analog, baby. Oh yeah, and I just really like that he's using the wiggle your feet feature. The wiggle your feet feature. Feet feature?
Feet feature. The happy feet.
Yeah, the happy feet feature.
It's a feature.
Yes.
Oh my god, you just nailed it. Yeah,
What has happening with that parachute there?
those are the rear lines. I'm not actually sure you can do that with rear lines in real life, but you can do it in this game. And oh my god, he's discovered how to do it.
I like it.
I like the use of captions. It's like a silent movie back in the day.
Back in
It's
the
like
day,
all calculated.
Yeah, slapstick flying.
Are you comfortable saying that Volo Airsport is the Charlie Chaplin of Dark Souls video games?
The Charlie Chaplin of Dark Souls video games. Hell yeah, I'm comfortable saying that. I mean, who else is gonna claim that?
Oh man.
Yeah, just stalling and then pulling into those spins. That's something I want to see as more of a thing, especially when we start doing more level design with the wind features.
Ooh.
Oh, first person. Oh.
What is interesting is with mastery of the system comes a lot more. You would think that your flights would get safer, but actually the risk just turns up by increasing notches. But it's calculated risk. So like when I'm flying in Volo Airsport, I do everything I can to not stall. But we see the players here using stalling to really its fullest effect.
Oh yeah, they get creative
to pull
with it.
off things you couldn't do otherwise. So it's interesting seeing how actually
It's like learning to walk.
the game gets more interesting rather than just easy or dismissible when you really start gaining some mastery with its systems.
Oh.
Ah,
So this too is a winner.
Yeah, definitely.
it's like a Picasso of broken limbs.
It's a different way of doing body painting, I suppose. Slightly more hardcore.
Oh,
And
that
a
twist.
Yeah.
I think.
How did they not lose any altitude with that twist?
Well, they pop up a little bit first, they flare, so they go down, 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 up, and then that's where they do their flip tricks or their parachute spins, right at the moment where they reach that apex or that top of that flaring up.
This is the Garden of Flight that you just murdered.
The Garden of Lifts. Yeah.
Lift, flight,
Yeah.
Volo.
Yeah, lots of stuff gets murdered in development mode.
Oh yeah, it's brutal out there.
But it also gets resurrected once in a while.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
The flip?
Yeah, that was totally intentional.
Hey,
That's what I always say.
He told us he calculates every move. So.
Exactly, so I believe it. I take his... Wait, okay, what's coming up?
Ah.
Oh yeah, this! Bang, dang. But he saves
Nailed it!
Really?
Yeah, he saves it.
Nailed it.
This is also why we're putting in the bullet mode. It's when you get hit by them and they break your arm, but you still fly. Like, that's just a great use of the physics in the game. Oh yeah, there was a feature request. Well, while we're watching, we might as well tackle that.
Yeah.
Customizing your canopy, like putting logos or writings on it. That's on the list, actually. Lots of people requested it, and we want to put it in, so we don't see any reason not to.
Yeah, we should put the Volo logo on it as a default.
No, definitely, by default.
Make it
Put a little bit of promotion in our own game. Oh, Robert!
The evils of branding. Thank you to everyone who enlisted in our flight contest.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who is supporting Volo Airsport. If you liked what you saw today, you can pick up Volo Airsport on Steam and itch.io, as you saw earlier in the video. We are actively developing the game, actively changing, experimenting with it. So the minute you start playing the game, it's going to change a lot, and you're going to be able to actually dramatically affect its development through this process. So thank you for all of your support. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this. Take care. And happy flights, pilots.
Happy flying!
Happy flying.
See ya.
Thanks.